Hello everybody. I'm back. Um I saved up. I got enough for the new rifle. So first thing we'll do after a prayer is buy that rifle. Mm, so I'll do just that. Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me a sinner. I'll keep it simple for today. That's it. So, we have 61,000 in-game currency. First things first is exactly this rifle I want, which is supposed to be the absolute strongest rifle in the game. I forget where I saw that. I want to check and make sure just to show you guys. Let's take a look at the polymer tip bullets compatible items. Where did I see that? Nah, it'll come up. Anyway, here we have it. Rangemaster 338. Buy. Huge. I'm so happy. Now we need ammo for it. Here you can see it. Here's where it says it. Recommended classes 7 through 9, so that's the biggest animals in the game. What we have right now, I'll show you guys in a moment. Right. So, I'm just gonna go all the way with this weapon, make it as high caliber, as penetrating as possible. It's also gonna be our defense weapon. Whenever like an animal attacks or anything. And we'll keep the Warden rifle just for a smaller game and keep it with the soft point bullets. So there you go, got some ammo there. Now rifle ammo here. We were about running out of the soft point for the 270. And that's about all the money spent, and we have about 10 bullets each. So let's see how we do. Here's the Rangemaster. I'm so excited to use this thing. 10 bullets there. That's out of storage. Now let's take care of this here. I'll put the Warden as the secondary weapon here. Rangemaster as a primary weapon. Let's take a look at the sights here. We have the higher distance scope there. Lower distance scope there. Let's get the ammo right. Boom. Boom. All right. It looks really cool. I like it a lot. Okay, it's got one round in every magazine. You gotta one round and then reload it every time. We don't have that many bullets, but that doesn't matter. I'm gonna test it against the biggest thing I can find as soon as I can. Might just go back to the other reserve to find some buffalo. They're easier to find and track. But I'll give this place a chance first. Feel like I got a new toy. Feel like a little kid. Let's check this out here. I'll reload this. Good there. Cool. So cool. There's a bear. That's a good first test. I want to still get a good shot on it, see if we can down it on the spot. It's different with the hard point, the polymer tip bullets. It's not quite just about getting a broadside shot. Talked about that last time. It's about penetrating as many organs as possible with a single shot. So we'll see how to do that. Streaming makes me happy, man. I turn on the go live button, I start hearing like anime edits in my head. You know? Like cheery anime edits, not like combat anime That's for the gym. That's what I hear in my head in the gym. You see some meese, a moose, or some moose, or a bear. I don't know if there are bison on this reserve, on this map. I don't think I've seen any on this map. It's so pretty. Oh my god. Lord have mercy. I feel like this game teaches me things, you know? And I look for that more and more in games now. Where I don't feel like I don't know. I think I just know what I like better. Because I would waste a bit too much time on games I didn't love when I was younger. Just thinking I had to enjoy it, you know? I hear the bear, I don't see it. They're so fast, bears. I like the simplicity of the rifle. So cool. You know, I hear that eagle and I see this, and you're tempted to think like America, right? But no, it's Canada. And I think back to the X-Men Origins movie, where like you see the Wolverine fight in all in the World Wars, and then the U.S. tries to recruit him later on when he's old and like the modern age, and they're like, "Be a good patriot." And he says, "I'm Canadian." Like, what do you think a guy? If someone lived long enough, like countries and nations have to become meaningless after a while, right? That's my guess. Ooh, okay, smaller game. We can go for them for sure. If they decide to, man. Flies like a drone. Like, it's not even flapping its wings. I think it's stopped in the tree. Oh, that, I'm not sure what that might be, in all honesty. What we just heard. I'm guessing it's a moose. Hello. I'm not sure what to do here. We could use a smaller rifle against these guys. Let's see how the scope feels at this range. Because I only have this scope and then the old one, which is less zoomed in. You could get a clean shot here on one of these guys. Ooh, but they're moving. They're moving. Right there, that's not bad. Let's give it a second. Yeah, it wasn't there. It wasn't there to begin with. So you got the old sight you guys saw last time on this new weapon now. Now the next thing, I guess, is to save up for the best sight I've seen in the game. And we'll see how far we can see with that. Got even better zoom than this. Alright. Oh. Really unaware. Maybe they'll see me though. I'm talking too early. Oh god. Oh god. Switch to the smaller weapon, the smaller rifle. Not the best angle, not yet. I think it saw me. I hear something. It's still showing its butt to us. I wonder why it didn't see me just now. If it just didn't care. Creeping up on it. So strange. How close can we get? Took off the scope here. Oh no! Okay, no, it did hear me at some point. Maybe I could have crawled and gotten closer. Alright. It's a good way to go either way. See what we find. That could be something big and worthwhile. They're all worthwhile, the small ones too. I'm talking about for the new weapon though. I don't know if that's a bear or a moose from the sound of it. I got a new skill that makes it quieter for me to walk through the leaves and trees and the bush. There's a guy in the Bible named Arphaxad. I forget what his story is, but I like his name. Arphaxad. Arphaxad. You think someone named Arphaxad would get bullied nowadays? has to be meant for you to climb down, but no one could even get. Why is that there? Why do those rocks just jut out? I think real life hunting would heal me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it would do. It does good things to me just in game. Just like right here. People play around with that term. Heal me. Well, not all of us. Hopefully not all of us, but many of us, I think. Some of us, I'll say. In the spirit of optimism, do need some healing. The in-game sun changes my mood. You know, you think you need real natural light, and I think you kind of do, but just seeing this makes me happy. Ooh, moose. Alright, let's try to get a good shot, even though we have a great weapon and armor-piercing rounds. Armor-piercing, what am I saying? Hard-tip rounds. I want to try to go through as many organs as possible. Let's try to move over here. So I see those deer there too. We could use a smaller rifle on them if they don't get scared, but either way, the moose is a priority here just for the sake of experimentation with the weapon. And also because it's more than likely the bigger prize. In terms of size, it definitely is. This is a decent angle. I'm going to try to go through its absolute core right here. That's got kick. Very cool reload animation. Let's see. So it isn't soft tip. So I'm guessing it'll be rare for us to get an immediate down on an animal because it isn't soft tip, because the soft tips tend to do more damage once you get them in the right spot. But I still think it was a decent shot, and I hope it didn't get too far. We can track it formally. Take a look at where I hit it here. Ran to the left. I managed to. Actually, no, I'm assuming that, but I think it ran to the left. I don't even know where we hit it. Hold on. You guys see how he pointed the rifle way up after the shot? The recoil was really the strongest I've seen so far in this game. Doesn't seem to be close. I don't see any tracking or splatter. Oh, you're further away than I thought. That's a strong hit. Vital organ hit. Okay. Okay. Sunlight should make it easy to see any red. Oh, yep. Oh, there you go. Alright, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. That wasn't too far at all. It's hard to keep an eye on them with the recoil. I think this is our first moose. Let's see if I can save the harvest. It's got a great trophy rating. What's the lowest thing we got here? A wild boar. I'm alright with switching that out. And a big prize. A big prize. Okay, pat on the back. Happy with that. And also, we earned enough with that single moose to buy more rounds for the weapon. So, no more stressing out about that. Okay. Okay. Very happy with how that went. I wonder if soft point bullets on this weapon would make it easier to down them quickly. I'm not too concerned about it. I think we can just learn to use the hard tip bullets differently. Maybe a better angle to knock them all down at once. I see a bird over there. It's a turkey. Now, it's my turkey. Yeah, there's like no recoil on this weapon. This one has like maximum recoil. It's pretty fun. Okay, we could go for more moose and meese. I love saying meese. I feel like any Canadian who'll ever watch me say the word meese is just sick of hearing that joke. It's funny. Meese. So many meese. Multiple moose. Except no one wants to say moose as a plural. It's meese. Meese. Okay. Where are we at right now? I'm kind of itching to buy more ammo. Let's take a look at what that is. I wonder if we could get multiple boar through with one shot. I want to test that out. First before we leave. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. So instead of a broadside shot, because the bullet is designed to just go through as far as possible, I'm going to see if we can get an angled shot. Not full frontal, but something that would go from like just under the left shoulder to just above the right hip. Outwards, right? Try to land a shot like that. I'm so happy with this new weapon. It's my new favorite toy. Meese. Arfaxia. Meese. So pretty, look at that. I like yellow more and more. When I was younger, I didn't like the color yellow because of the movie The Green Lantern. Yellow was fear. It was feels wrong. But I like it. It is. It's brave. It's strange how easy it could be to scare big animals like that, you know? I wonder if they can tell what humans have a weapon and what which humans don't. You know? It might be hard for them to identify what you're carrying. I used to think about that a lot as a kid, how an animal might see the world. Because dogs seem to understand us so much, but everything else so little. Except for what it means to be a dog. You know that very well. You know? Sometimes I feel like I could just let my dog go, and like he could be like a citizen in this city. But then he like chases a bird onto the street with a car coming right by, you know, and have to pull on a leash. So no. See something over there? I think they heard me. I was being pretty loud. Just running. I was running. Should be able to get him with the smaller rifle. I think that's just a deer. Yeah. What do you guys think about church testimonies? I'm learning more and more about community life in churches, and I don't like how they do most things, you know? All the monks preach about humility, and I feel like most community church things kind of celebrate pride in a nasty way without even realizing it sometimes, you know? I don't know. Ooh, turned. Alright, they're all kind of past that brush there. I'm gonna go around this way. It's when you're like puffing up people so much like that when they tell their story, an intimate story about their relationship with God. It could, it doesn't always, it could inspire all sorts of negativity, right? Maybe that's just fear. Maybe that's me having the wrong position about sharing your story, you know? I think there's a level of tasteful presentation that matters. It's like it's looking right at us. I don't know, it makes me remember being a kid and being pressured to share and like, oh God, I ran in class or something, you know? When someone says, you must present, you must share. That doesn't feel good. Especially when you already say like no when you're showing how shy you are. It can be good a little bit to be pushed to grow in confidence. Again, taste, balance, and measure. Real low and close here. He's chilling. I was speed crawling. What is that? Oh my God. Just walked right up. Hello. decent. Reload this one. Sometimes you find one thing to try to creep up on, and all that quietness, it attracts. It attracts. Let's see what we see here. Nothing. I was hoping like a bear or something. With bear, I think the game for me is always going to be distance and not being quiet because they're so perceptive and so fast. I see those two deer there. Kind of wondering whether or not to use this big old rifle on him. That's a walk all the way. Yeah, I'm not feeling it. Honestly, I think the internet is an amazing medium for sharing true testimonies, true intimate experiences with God or with your understanding of God, right? We don't know. We don't know. So, yeah, I'd like to clarify that. There's no doubt that God is real and we encounter Him, but we're also misled and sometimes misled by our own biases. But anyway, what I was saying is like I think the internet is a great medium because it's not like showy like it might be in a church, you know. It's let's switch out the weapon here. You know, people can just talk about their experiences and it's very I don't know, I feel like in general the internet is a great filter for like authenticity. Like sure, like the wrong people can get a bunch of attention, but then things that are just people speaking their hearts out gets, you know, it blows up sometimes, and that's a celebration of truth. I like that. And I feel like nowadays, you know, younger people and most people who grew up with the internet can tell when something's been publicized, right? Not just, you know, put out there. Alright, let's see. I think that's the big old buck up in the front. That may have been half decent. It's a bit high, I think. A bit high. I'll go after them. Because when someone talks to you on the internet too, it can be an audience of like a billion people and it could still feel intimate because it's something you're watching, you know, one person at a time. One person alone watching another person. Can intimacy be one-sided? I think that's just not true intimacy, you know? If that's the case. Ooh. Not bad. That's a decent shot, it looks like. It might be in the water. I get the feeling. No. I don't know. I kind of want to cut like the tracking out of the game, but it's just because I want to be a better tracker. You know, like I want to really know what I'm doing when I do it. Right now, I'm just kind of running around and seeing what I see. Ooh, thought that was our guy, but no, it's just another one up and looking at us. Nature hides them so well. I don't want to use the big one on that one. We could. If the crowd was going that way, let's check here for our first one. Yeah. Facts. Moving. Ah, no, let's check here first for the first one I shot. In the water. Let's take a look at the old size. I don't know. That's deep actually. Oh, he's right there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. She's right there. Okay. Honestly, I have better, more fun and more success in the game just being intuitive, and faithful rather than technical and tactical. That's some creativity too. Who thinks up with a name Arphaxad for their son? Arphaxad. Who looks like an Arphaxad? What face goes with that name? My first thought is the bully in the game Bully, not the main character, but the guy that's actually mean. I don't know why. Arphaxad. A prep school bully. That sounds like yeah. That's another game I'd like to play on stream, but I don't know that much about it. I never played it on my own. It's just the vibe is so cool, like the art from the posters. And the in-game, it seems funny, right? It doesn't seem like, tremendous gameplay. It might be, I haven't played it. That's not the craziest name in the Bible either. Ooh, that's a deer or an elk? That's a moose. You got another moose. How should I approach? They move so fast. They have such long legs. Even when they walk, it's such a long stride. Oh, he's away. Oh my. Ooh. He was just trotting. Covered so much ground. Have more luck with this in a wider open area. Hunting videos I was talking about last stream that I saw them kind of point out the optimal place to land a shot on a deer. And I thought it was just kind of on like the protruding part of the lung, like the most wide out part of the rib. But no, it's kind of like closer to the armpit, between that and the armpit, right? Excuse me. Excuse me. I think that's because that's like how it gets to the heart. So I want to do that with this hard tip round, but like I said before, while still kind of going through as much of the animal as we can. Let's see how I line it up. I make fun of the name a little bit, saying it's a prep school bully name. But in all honesty, I could be accused of being such a thing, being a prep school bully. I did go to a private school. It was good. The school was really good. The education was amazing. I had a bad time socially. But I think everyone does it to some level in high school, right? Like all the anxiety and the unknowns. Okay, I'm gonna go with the smaller rifle for these guys. We'll do just the same typical shot. I'm kind of guessing where he is there. No, but this one's moving. They're both moving. That's. Oh, come on. That's a good spot. Do they see me? I wonder if they're asking themselves the same question about me. Does he see us? He did react to me changing position there a little bit. Let's get a little closer. I do think that's them making that noise, by the way. It must be elk. I think elk make that noise. Their mouths are like strange. Like they contort when they make that noise. See if he stops for a second. No. Oh, the other one came back. He's stopping there, but I don't have a good point of view on the soft spot there. What do they think all day? Do they think much at all? There's another one right there. We'll get closely. We'll get close slowly. Let's see if we can get a good angle on him. I could kind of guesstimate there. I don't want to though. That guy just hasn't moved, man. I'm gonna drop low here. There's a good cover here. No, he saw me. One of them, two of them did. Oh. I think the other one must still be there, no? That's alright. That's alright. I'm kind of happy I controlled myself there and didn't just blast off, you know. One of them saw me there. Another one's still there, looks like. We're moving slowly. I can't tell which way. He's facing away. Yo, he was facing right at me. Okay. Much more chilled out than I'd expect. That's not bad. There you go. Okay, got one. A girl. Okay. That's more of the same over there. We can track them. They're not in too much of a rush, it looks like. I don't want to use the big gun on them. I'm tempted to. Let's see if we can find a moose along the way. I wouldn't have called myself a bully when I was in high school, but you know, you look back and it's clear to see your own insensitivities, right? I'll call them that. It wasn't. It was clear for some people and for others just how insensitive they were. Alright. I feel more like a bully now, in all honesty. I'm less careful with my words, maybe. Maybe just more direct. I'm still careful with my words. I like being careful with my words. Just more direct. Just more direct. I guess that's me kind of adopting backlash, right? That's kind of how people react when you're forward with them. They call you a bully. I used to observe that to be the case. Who knows? It's so hard to have an objective viewpoint on social interaction. Where are we here? Ooh, new lands. Okay. I don't know what you guys think of it. I'm definitely a defensive person at times. At times, not always. High lake, that's where we are. Okay. There's a question out there. I kind of want to check it out. I'm guessing it's that right there. Not worth checking out. It's a little constructible outpost hut thing for hunting. I don't like using those. these, can't we? They fly so funny. So thick and just floating. It's like they're little blimps. Like, that's a bird. You see that? Like, those guys are blimps. Little appas. Flying bison type. How have I changed since being so socially uncomfortable? I feel like I'm more comfortable socially now, but other people are less comfortable. Like, you grow a little bit, you get clearer on your principles and values, and then you express them and defend them. And, boundaries mean some people are okay with you, some people aren't. Same for me. I'm okay with some people and not okay with others, right? You don't want to share space with everyone. I'm more faithful now. I'm diving deep into it now, to Christianity and following Christ. For a while, I was just superstitious and doing my best to accept more of recognition of things that I didn't understand, right? Trying to be able to make space to express and communicate all these, what I would call miracles now. Back then, I just, confusion, transcendental experiences. But really, it's miracles. It's God's love. It all is. Every moment. Every moment. And that's the thing. All those other, I guess, languages you could use to define these experiences don't give it the same meaning that the language of the Bible does, that Scripture does. It's every bit of description you find in the Bible is full of meaning, full of pertinence to God and man, God and mankind. Right? I wouldn't call it impartial. For the longest time, I thought of God as perfectly impartial, right? Perfectly fair. But perfect fairness isn't totally impartial. It takes into account emotion. Right? God, of course, transcends personality, but he has everything. It's all his, so he has personality too, right? Not much I could say with confidence about God, except that I love God. So, we just don't know. We just don't know. Maybe someone does. Okay, I think that's the bear. That's kind of the messed up thing about, I guess, widespread depressive mentalities. People tend to give authority to negativity, which is the complete opposite of what's true and makes sense, right? It's all a blessing. I feel like I could say that more so about just workplace communication. That's been my experience. Even academic, institutional communication. You could say the exact same thing, but if you say it with a bit of a complaining tone, people tend to not doubt it as much, which is a bit sad. That's been my experience. That might not be everyone's experience. Hopefully it isn't. Hopefully it isn't. If you say something with cheer, with a spirit of hope, people tend to doubt it. I really do love God. That's the number one thing Jesus tells us to do, which can be, it can feel inauthentic to say it on command, right, as an obedience act. But really, I think the more you say it, the more you realize it's kind of the highest truth, right? We all love God. It would make much sense not to. It wouldn't make much sense not to. I think it's natural, or maybe it's just a pattern I've grown up with. If you're commanded to love, you kind of don't want to do it. That's not what love is. Love is freely given, freely received. If you so choose, right? That's the whole thing about free will. There you go. That's a bear. Okay. We have an angle. I want to get a little closer. I don't think it sees us either. Okay, that's actually perfect. Ooh, missed that. It saw me. It saw me. Oh my god. Look, I'm telling you, man. They're so perceptive. Bears, man. Yeah, no, that's God. Man. I had a chance there. I gotta be ready for that next time if we see it frontally. If we see it frontally, I can just wait for it to stand up, possibly. That's an opportunity there. Yeah. I feel like that's a big hang up popularly, culturally in the community, which is, the argument for free will. Or why would he give us free will? I don't have an answer. I do know that we're commanded to love God, and without free will, that wouldn't make all that much sense to me. Right? To choose to love is... I think that's what it means to be good. Maybe not. I don't know. I think that's a great opportunity, right? A great opportunity to choose to love. See something there? No, I don't. I thought it was ducks. Look at that. How could you look at that and not just think, I love God? That is you there. You know, a big part of it for me was sports. Because I tried really hard at basketball, but I wasn't as good as I wanted to be. You know, with other things, I was way better. I think I just enjoyed it more. So, you know, I'd always ask myself playing sports, like, why do some guys win and they're not working as hard as me? You know, they're not showing up to every training session. And the big, you know, answer I finally came to after years is faith. Faith, you know, the feeling is, it's clear. Some people win often because they expect to win often. They identify with winning. And it goes beyond that. Of course, whatever happens is up to God. And faith is what helps us connect to that. It's faith. Not certainty. Certainty dies. I don't think certainty has any space for itself in a sport or a competition. I mean, competition gives meaning because it gives challenge. It gives the opportunity to exercise faith. To say, hey, maybe, to hope, right? I think that's a blessing too. The opportunity to hope. Bears, man. Perfect. I think enjoyment feeds into faith, right? If you really love something, you're not going to be thinking too much about maybe, maybe not. Can I, will I? You just do it. You know? Gotta love the game. Gotta love whatever game it is you're playing. Otherwise, just change the game. Don't force love. Ooh! Outlook tower. That's kind of a risk you take when you work hard at something, right? Because you can enjoy effort and not really enjoy what you're working on. You can be devout and committed and then forget why. It's important to remember why. Saw that all the UFC fighters are now Christian. That's good news, man. That's good news. I hope no one from any other religion feels excluded when I say that. So, I do hope they see the beauty in Jesus, you know? It's so beautiful. It does help me appreciate nature in this game, this little hunting. Because I always felt like I should appreciate nature more, but I'm too twitchy and like excitable to kind of sit down and relax in nature. And this is really good for that because it's like always having a game to play while out in nature. Maybe that's why bird watchers are so happy. I think they live really long. I don't know. Read that somewhere. Made it up maybe. I don't know. I read that somewhere. Bird watchers live really long. And inventors too. That's another one. Mike Tyson's trainer used to say that it's about you don't get old until you lose interest. I'm guessing inventors always have a little game to play, with anything they see. There's always interest. That was especially true for him. Especially true for him. I think he died just about as soon as he knew that Mike Tyson was going to be world champion. He kind of raised Mike Tyson in a way. But as a boxing coach, right? So as soon as he knew that was going to happen, I think he didn't want much more. Unfortunately, right? Because as great as any sport can be, there's so much more. There is so much more. I met a couple dancers who kind of showed me how true that was. Because I kind of felt that way after walking away from a couple different sports. But it's like, these guys kind of obsess too much with the wrong things. And I talked to these dancers, two girls, in different times of my life, and they both told me about a similar experience they had where they were super dedicated in their younger years, and then they just stopped dancing, and it was tragic, and then it wasn't. It was just like, oh, there's so much time to see what this gift God gave us has for us to enjoy. Right? There's so much more. There's so much more. And that can be a reason for some people to like give obsession a negative connotation. I just think it's about giving yourself freedom. And I enjoy my obsessions. I enjoy having periods where I kind of go all in on one thing. There's a season for everything. There is a season for everything. I'm happy we got that one. That is very well located. Stock up on ammo. We have the chance, why not? Heard something there. That's alright. So, whoa. Why can't I buy this here? What's that? Insufficient funds? That's not true. Oh, sometimes it like lags like that. I don't know what the case is here. Definitely have enough for this. That's so strange. There you go. Okay, just had to reload it. That was weird. South Point here. And some of these bad boys. Some more of these bad boys. And some more of the other ones. And I feel comfortable now. Yeah, that feels way better. Okay. Bit strange. I'm excited for the new scope we'll eventually get. I want to see how that works. You know, I go back and forth a lot about all sorts of social interactions. A big theme right now for me, being a little older, I'm 26, and there's so much that I thought was people insulting me, looking down on me. That was just other people not knowing how to interact with people, right? Because I feel like most of my generation kind of internalized the belief of not being socially adept because all our parents saw us using new technology thinking, oh, we need to get outside, you know. I don't know. I kind of see that a lot. Or even things where I should have felt complimented, or I should have felt, like treated nicely. People recognizing good things in me. I felt insulted because of my own insecurities. And I'm not even saying like all that long ago. Like maybe like a couple months ago, I think about too. But especially when I was a teenager, where you just think, I don't know. It was so. It's the little negative things that you hold on to for so long with no good reason. The good reason is you gotta recognize the pain, the damage that's been caused, just so that it kind of fixes itself automatically by grace, through faith, right? But if you don't look at what's hurting, other things are gonna trigger it all the time, and it's gonna hurt more if you ignore it. Getting a job at a formal workplace was huge in terms of that. I don't think I'm really happy I did that and then left because that was not for me. But for the moment I was there, it was I don't know. People clearly show what they value in you because it's formal, because it's easier for them to just say, "Hey, I want this from you," you know. Sure what it is. Part of it is honestly being objectified. When you're objectified, people hide less of themselves and what they think about you from you because they don't see you as something that could affect them in any way. You know, it's not a good thing. It's demeaning sometimes when people think like, oh, I'm paying this person. They're not really someone to care about. But it's really, I don't know. For me, it was eye-opening. About me, about what people saw in me, They weren't afraid to say it then. I did enjoy that much. Is that an animal? It's like the silhouette of a moose right there. Think about all sorts of social situations after so much time, so many years later. There are so many little pains just you could even forget about, right? And the big key for me is art and entertainment and enjoyment. Games like this, games like God of War, having fictional characters that reflect real values you carry. It's a relief, it's healing, it shows you that, for me, it just shows me I wasn't wrong about some things. think that's the beautiful thing about fiction is you can see how real principles play out on real personalities. I also think that's why bad fiction and bad art is a danger to society. You have to really respect whole humans for the incredible creation and gift that we are to each other. What's this here? That's easy to say right now. I'm playing a game I like and streaming and enjoying what I do. For a while I boxed. I kind of let out a lot of negativity there. You know what the big thing is? You realize what people are projecting onto you. You realize how much an expectation from someone else can affect you. And how to overcome it. But really, it's easy to turn it into a constant conflict with people's expectations, and I don't like living that way. The new thing now is to just surround myself with people who see me truly, right? That also means I should be more expressive. That also means showing more of what I want people to see, which is authenticity, right? From an authentic place. I think I heard a coyote. 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 The wind in this game, man, the light, everything. They worked hard. I don't see the coyote. So I saw how going a little more slowly attracted all sorts of animals. But I am that impatient where I don't want to do that. Oh, but look at that. That's the coyote. But I have the big gun. I would destroy it, wouldn't I? Should I? Let's see if I can get closer. Oh, I think it got away. Oh no, it's over there. There was something else there. Alright, let's see if we can get it from here. There's two of them. Oh, I think he tanked it. He got right. He got up. He got up. There's a chance. How many of them were there? Right. That's not bad. There's no hunting pressure on the map, so I'm guessing it hasn't gone down yet. It will. I think that's how it works. Yeah, it went down. See, now there's hunting pressure on the map. The coyote went down. Okay, yeah, figured that one out. By grace. Figured that one out. I don't think it was a great shot, but, you know, it worked. Looked like it was like up on the shoulder. So I saw that like one running up ahead, and I think the one I got kind of cut to the right. I'm gonna do a bit of a loop here. Ooh, there you go. Yeah, we're looking the right way. I'm afraid of being a bit too philosophical and not too grounded, right? So, the big thing is, no matter who you collaborate with, at some point you're gonna run into their beliefs, because that's what really gets people moving. That's what really gets people to do things. So you gotta express your beliefs to people. It makes you easier to work with. It also makes you, it builds off, it feeds into your integrity. You'll know what it is you're abiding by. It can be kind of scary to think people know you that deeply, because if it's a true belief, it'll have something deep. I don't know. Yeah, there's a way. There's a way to get from beliefs to action. What's going on there? I don't want to go for that moose. I feel overwhelmed all of a sudden. I want the moose, I want the coyote, I want to explore this area. And the other side of that is like, how can you understand why you care about a belief without expressing feelings? People who say they don't care about feelings are a nightmare to work with. It's not human. Where'd the coyote go? No. Come on. That it? That's it! Okay, good. Decent. Then there's the other end of it, right? Some people might express whatever's convenient, and not what's most important when it comes to feelings. If it's genuine, I think it steers you the right way. It is possible to get lost in that. I think the Bible's great. I think, anything that teaches you faith teaches you to manage your emotions. Because fear is an emotion that I think benefits me to recognize. When you fix it up with faith, and everything kind of becomes clear. Once the path ahead becomes clear, with the light of faith guiding you, you don't want to dwell in your emotions. You want to get on to the next good thing. There you go. The next good thing. And then the next good thing might become an idol. You gotta guard against idols. Constant focus on God. That's what the monks teach. For me, it's scary though. Like, I don't want to be a monk. I don't know if that's wrong. Like, if you just keep focusing on God, eventually you're just reading scripture all day, right? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know that much. It's different for everyone, I assume. But I think monks aren't allowed to work out all that much. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be totally wrong. I think I heard one of them one time say that. Like, you just shouldn't you don't need to do it so much as a monk, but the word of God is more fortifying. Honestly, I think he was just being proud. Really. That's my view on it. Working out has brought me closer to God. I can say that. It has strengthened my faith. You kind of have to. Like I was saying before, if you want to do anything physical or competitive, you gotta have faith. Otherwise, it's self-destruction. Dang. Well, let's enjoy. There might be something more to it all. Back to what I was saying, though. How do we ground a belief and turn it into action? I think with faith, right? If it's optimism, you stop acting out of fear and your life improves, no matter what it is. No matter what it is. That could be confusing. A lot of people think not acting out of fear just means you can do whatever you want, which means you can hurt anyone however you want to, which isn't true. It isn't true. That's nihilism. That's a lack of seeing meaning, right? A lack of seeing meaning. And yeah, with optimism, it's undeniable that there's meaning to everything. Meaning moves people. Meaning moves people. That's true. I think it's true even if they don't realize it. Ultimately, we do what matters most to us. Never been mine. You know, to a point, I think most mental illness can be track down to some unreasonable fear. You know? People can sound crazy, but if they're optimistic and constructive, it's just a new amazing thing that they're making. From life, from the gifts we're given. But if you say it all through fear, you sound paranoid, right? Think about just describing the government from a point of optimism or from a point of pessimism. Start from pessimism. Yeah, it's scary and weird. And you sound paranoid. People are kind of watching us and thinking about all the things we do. But from a point of optimism, it's, oh wow. Someone out there said, I want to take care of so many people. And I want to think for it. I'm going to work for it and get other people, or try to get other people, who can express my beliefs so other people may have the opportunity to collaborate with me in doing so. Of course, nowadays things change fast, right? Fear is understandable, however, not what we must abide by. Christians are called to abide by faith and hope. Again, I hope no one feels excluded. I hope everyone abides by faith and hope. Even with things like competition, right? Someone's going to win, someone's going to lose. But if you're both faithful and hopeful, it doesn't feel like a loss for anyone. Of course, it's really hard to navigate those emotions when people attach their self-worth to the result, right? That's something you shouldn't do. Let's switch out here. Got a good angle here. Oh, he's moving. Or she. We don't know. Hard to tell with those little animals. I think we lost it. I want a big animal. I want to test out again. Oh, you know what? What have I been doing? Let's go against the bison. Let's go on the bison. I can test out that theory about seeing if we can get a 2-for-1 with the piercing bullets. Okay, equipment unlocked. It sounds gnarly. It's called King. Let's check this out. It's not any of these. It's not any of these. Huh? I thought it was a rifle. I thought it was a rifle. I'll check it out later. Okay, I am down here. Yeah, there are plenty of bison up in this area, so let's go around here. Test it out. So, before with the 270 with the Warden, with the old rifle that I still have there equipped, I could shoot him maybe twice and still have to chase him down for a good minute, maybe. Let's see what the case is with this new one. I'm not exactly sure how the sizes are measured. This one's called the 338, so it's a little bigger than the old one. The bullet size, the diameter. 3 is bigger than 2, right? But then there's a 7mm rifle. I'm not sure what that specifically means. It's not using the decimal thing, the decimal measurement. I don't think it's like 70 times bigger than the other rifle bullets. I don't know, man. This one's bigger than the other one. It's the strongest one in the game that I've seen. Maybe there's DLC or unlockables like they was trying to show us before. The other thing is the bison are aggressive and they charge you, so I want to see if this weapon has any merit as a self-defense weapon. You can only shoot one bullet at a time. If I'm moving properly, I hope that isn't a problem. And the other gun against the big old bison kind of takes too much either way. Really unload on it. Same goes for this game, and I'm guessing real hunting in real life, right? You gotta have faith. If you don't have faith, you don't have patience, you never get a good shot. Think of that, right? If you don't trust that you'll get the good shot, kind of rush it. That's what happens to me. If I'm starting to feel like a bit iffy about what I'm doing, or I feel tired, I start rushing. It's not a good thing. I do think I should work on that a little bit. I kind of want to go through this way. Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting. I don't know if there are any bison in there. I'm curious though. It's a fox. Might be in here, might be up there. Boom. Being a kid asking the cop one time why people turn guns sideways in movies. Oh god, is that looks like a historical relic, and this map is in Germany, so I'm gonna avoid it. Yeah. Ooh, a thing. Sometimes you can press E on it. Doesn't look like it did anything there. Yeah, nah. Let's get out of here. So, not a good spot. Unfruitful. Unfruitful valley right there. Unfortunate. Forgive me, y'all. Forgive me. Alright. Feeling this direction. Lord help me. Find a bison. A pack of bison to take on. Alright, that's something. Some noises. Those look like things I saw up there. Some birds. You get some birds. Don't fly away. There's another one here. Let's see if I can get that one. Oh no. Yeah, I missed. Smaller scope is hard. What can I say? I want a bigger animal. I want a bigger animal than that. That popped off. The desk popped. You guys see the other guys? Desk popped. Whoa! Did you guys see that? Moving right towards us. It was going fast from the beginning. Where'd it go? It's been a strange series of little animal interactions. There he is. He's kind of walking real fast instead of running too. Let's see if we can get closer. I think it heard the shot and like ran and got disoriented and started running straight towards where the shot was? Or was it like planning to counterattack? That'd be some evolution from the animal right there. I've been charged by animals in this game, but not like from a distance. That was a sight. Ooh, no, I'm being too loud. That's a fox. There's so much going on. That's a fox again. They sound so funny. It's like a little kid yelling, having fun. Alright, let's have fun with that. strange, man. I think about the movie The Other Guys. It was a real season in like movies in the U.S. Right? People are too serious now. I think too serious with entertainment. Like the Ted movies, you know, like they're newer. They feel more like what I would call nowadays, right? They don't feel as central. I don't feel like they got as much attention. At least not Ted 2. Maybe not, I don't know. They all got Mark Wahlberg in them. It's gotta mean something. He's Christian. Everyone talks about, like, I've heard a lot about his really racist youth, but I hope he's changed, right? Hope he's changed. Who knows? Sometimes the animals in this game behave like something from beyond, bro. Maybe that's just how it is with animals. Sometimes I feel like my dog is with me even when he isn't with me. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like right now he's not here with me, he's with my parents. But like I'm so used to him like being by my side, nudging on my foot, that sometimes I feel it, you know? Is there any way to get there? Maybe there's boats. Hooey! No luck here either. That's dang. Yeah. Rough bit of exploration there, I'll say. I'll say that. The biggest animals here, there's still bison around here, which doesn't make too much sense in all honesty. They're like cornfields, but there's still bison around here. And if there's like a big deer, I'm willing to use the big rifle. Maybe not, we'll see. We'll see how that works out. Red fox. Foxes are real prizes in this game. I wonder what the rarest sort of like hunting game you could catch really is. I wonder if a hunter who like collects trophy hunts cares for like a... Oh, look at that. That had the bird shot, could have got him. We'll check things out. He really didn't care, he ran right past me. That's interesting. We could equip the shotgun. I might do that. Do that. What was I saying? I'm kind of like into the aesthetic of carrying 2 long distance rifles. Like, it feels cool. And think about it, where would you even... I don't want to use the shotgun. I'm going to be unreasonable. What was I saying? Something about Mark Wahlberg. He's got a burger chain. That feels so... I don't know. Unnecessary. I hope, you know, he enjoys it. I think I tried it one time. I think they were good. I don't know. Is that just what you get up to at that age? Like, you're doing well in your career, you just decide to do something more like that? Why do you go for burgers? I think those are boar. I'm actually gonna test out to see if I can just shoot him straight through here. That was crazy. Did he just tank that? I don't know if he just tanked that. Duking himself and they're running away. Whoa. What? Okay, now he went down. Now he went down. So I think... That was so weird. Flash left humorous. I got his left leg. I didn't like that. That was so... God, okay. I'll take it. Heard a loud buck way over there, but I want to spend time in an open area instead of wherever that was. This game, man, if you chase it, it really will elude you. You gotta just see what shows up for you. That's been the case for me. I say, let's go get the bison, and what do you know? No bison in an area where I always find bison. And the same thing happens to me when I track the animals after I've shot them. 'Cause it's like, you can be really focused, searching the ground, and then you just kind of wander and it appears right in front of you. That was the case for me lots of times. You just gotta see what the game gives you. like the foxes. I wouldn't want to hunt foxes. Like, I think I'd enjoy foxes. They're like little dogs. Except not at all. I don't know. They're cute like dogs. They're smart, right? Like, they interact with humans, like, for food and all that, no? Ooh, bird. Multiple birds. Let's see if I can get a colorful one. I saw a colorful one up there. Whoa, one's right here. Are they hiding in the leaves? That one. Heard a deer in the distance. A pheasant. Yeah, good stuff. This is a non-vital organ hit. Stretch. Either way, the birds are small enough where it doesn't matter. Decent reward on that one. Decent. What if a moose spawned here on this map? A glitch just for us. If I see a big enough deer, I want to try the big rifle on it. See how it works, how it goes, how it delivers. Oh! Oh, he's heading right for me. See if I can chase it a little bit. Why has that been happening so much? I'm not used to that yet in this game where animals kind of run towards you a little bit. That hasn't happened all that much to me. Let's go back to the reserve. I feel like going for moose again, switching it up. We got a pheasant and a boar there. I'll take it. I like those. A lot to explore here. Let's check it out. That way. I think this one's more beautiful, this map here. I have my moments where the German map is a bit, prettier to me. Thinking about where to acquire to perform the acquisition of my hunting lodge. Right. I think I'd prefer somewhere like this. Canadian looking. Something about the size of the landscapes. I've been to Yosemite. Beautiful, beautiful. You get a certain view sometimes where it feels like it doesn't fit in your eyes. The immensity of the park and the trees and the cliffs. It's huge. It's one thing. It's strange to conceptualize even when you look at it. Oh wow, that was throwing me off horribly. That was strange. Oh, we can go all the way up there. There's a something there. Yeah, it looks like after you change maps, it takes a bit of adjustment for the new map to load on the actual map. Once you change reserves. US takes care of its parks. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. It helps people feel free, you know? If you don't have anywhere to roam, people kind of get nasty with each other. They don't feel free. I think that's another great thing about video games and exercise. It helps people feel free. Whoa. Want a moose or a bear? That's so huge. That's the feeling. It's like it doesn't fit in your eyes. I want to live somewhere that looks out to something like that. Makes you question how much you can really see. You know? How much can you see? Oof, this looks tough. Let's scan a little bit. Okay. It looks barren. What is, why, I don't see any animals. That's a strange one. I heard one. I heard one. Where was that? Kind of towards the right, no? Dang. Hmm. We could kind of just no, actually, I kind of want to get down from here. This is well located. Forgot about this one. And we'll head west. Oh, man. It's so pretty. And I'm not sure what it is about this game. At any time in the past, you would have told me a hunting game, and I would have thought just no. You know, this game feels modest in a way, I guess. You know, some hunting games try to oversell, especially older ones. Maybe it's just the fact that technology has advanced and you can have huge maps, and that makes it way better. Makes it way better. Ooh boy. Bit of a stutter there. Did I get that one? Yeah, I did. What was that? Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. That sounds like an elk. Pretty sure that's what the elk sound like. Ooh, something over there. You know what? That's not a bad angle to test out the hard tip rounds. Let's come a little closer. Oh boy. rain is the most realistic rain I've seen in a game. Ooh, something up there. Alright. Big enough for the big gun? What do you guys think? Oh, I can't see it here. I think so. He's down. I think the distance also qualifies using the bigger gun sometimes. I'll take a look at it. If it didn't hit anything too important, I'll just chalk up that kill to having a big gun. If it did, then I'm curious to see if we hit anything extra more than normal because of the penetrating bullet. I saw it drop immediately, so I'm happy with that one. Very long range. As far as I'm used to, pretty long range. We'll hope to get some longer range ones with the new scope eventually. Okay, so not a bad shot. Vital organ, okay. Yeah, so it's from the side and hit both lungs, so the bullet definitely helped. Nearly 200 meters, not quite. Decent. I'm happy with that. So the rifle we have is made for classes 7 through 9. It's effective with the smaller ones, as you can see. Cool, not bad. You probably could have used a smaller rifle. And next time I'll try it out from that distance, see if it's any good. Either way, it's really satisfying to use that big gun, and seeing the reload animation is so cool. That's some more elk. So that's the same noise we heard before, so I can assume it's the same animal. This time, let's see if we can use the smaller rifle the same exact way. We had a very good angle on that deer last time, on that elk, I think it was a Roosevelt elk. Tougher angle, tougher vision, because we're over a hill here. Okay, that might be something bigger. That bird flew right through the guy's face. Where is it? What is this? Ooh. No. That's a bear. How might we approach this bear? I could crawl and crouch walk forever and still might not get it. Sounds a bit further away now. I'm not gonna go for it. Really, I've only had luck with the bears at long range. They don't charge you. I've heard that's how black bears actually are. Typically. Not always, right? Not always. Let's see if we can find something big. No chasing. No chasing. Look at that. There you go. Okay, that's something. I'll check here real quick. Yeah, that's something over there. We are upwind from it, so it'll catch a smell quick. If it is in the direction I'm going in right now. So I'm gonna sprint back to it. See if we can figure things out fast. Oh yeah, that's good. It's over here now. Not downwind from us. I don't know what it could have been, or where it went. Maybe an elk or a moose or not a bear. That wasn't a bear. Not a tiger. There's no tigers here. There is a map with tigers in it. In India, I'm pretty sure. That's where the map's based. maybe it's just over for tonight. I think so. We'll end with a Hail Mary here. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Started late today, a little tired tonight. Hope to show off the gun more next time. Come around. Follow me on all socials. Mogo John Amarte. Bye now.